I'm about to mute you guys in like 2 seconds because I'm gonna order some food. But other than that, I'm good
What
to go.
the fuck, bro? I mean, should we just wait till you're done ordering, or what? You just want to go?
No,
All
fuck
right.
it, dude. Let's roll. We're good to go.
All right,
Let's
ladies and gentlemen,
go.
welcome to the next episode of Views from the 906 podcast. My name is Dylan Hemmel. I'm joined by Justin Riley, Michael J. Williams, and Parker Miller. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Hope you guys had a good time with your friends and family. I know I did. Big NFL football yesterday. Lions, Bears, primetime football on Turkey Day. What did you guys think of the game?
Is that a serious question?
Yeah.
Who watched it?
I had to watch some of it.
I watched the
it was-
first 3 quarters. And
I mean, it's just typical Lions football, honestly.
I mean, who wants to watch a third string quarterback and watch him lose against a terrible Bears and
Watch him battle against Mitch Trubisky.
Dude, the way I saw it, I was like, oh my god, they might actually win this game. They should be trying to lose at this point.
Yeah, they're only 6-6. The Bears are 6-6 now, so but yeah,
It really
the Lions
doesn't
just need to
matter.
lose.
It doesn't matter if the Lions try to win games or not; they're still going to lose.
It doesn't matter.
Look
it really
at the
doesn't
NFC
matter.
playoff picture, dude. They should be trying to get the best pick they can. They're not
Yeah.
going to make the playoffs.
No shot.
They're already
Just
removed from the playoffs.
The thing is Justin, you've always said this, like when the Lions have a terrible, like they need to fucking lose out so they can get a better pick. I'm like, that makes sense, yeah. But how do you tell a group of 53 guys that we're gonna, all right, guys, we're just gonna just go out there and just kind of make it look like you're doing something?
Ask Brian
we're gonna
Flores and the Dolphins. He'll tell you.
So, as a coach, you go into a locker room saying, "All right, listen here, guys. Season didn't turn out the way we expected it, but you're still getting paid millions of dollars. So now I need you
This
to
is week
go out
1.
there. I need you to go out there instead of trying to win. You're getting paid millions of dollars to lose."
I will say this, man. Their quarterback, the third string, he's not that bad.
He had some nice
No, he's
throws
not.
in the highlights that I watched. He had some really good throws.
Yeah, he's all right.
I mean, it's
Are
not
you
so
going
much.
to-
I don't think, especially like think of the Dolphins too. Like everybody in the world knows that they're trying to tank and get a good pick. I don't think it's so much they tell the players. It's more like, hey, we're gonna scheme really shitty and we're gonna call not so smart plays and we're gonna do things as a coaching staff and as management to make this terrible, including trading away all our best players and shit so we know we suck.
Yeah.
You don't want to trade away all your best players. You want to keep at least some of them
And that's what
around.
the Dolphins did.
Yeah, the Dolphins are just starting from scratch.
Wait, Dolphins had like star players?
Borderline, yeah.
Borderline.
What was his name? The running back
Dominican
they
Sue.
gave to Phil.
Kenyon Drake?
Dominican Sue.
No, he wasn't there, was he?
No. Yeah, he was. When?
No, that was Tampa Bay. That's Tampa Bay.
2 years ago. He was there 2
You're
years ago.
Parker, you're thinking of Kenyon Drake, who got traded out to Arizona.
No, I'm not.
You're not thinking of Ndamukong Suh. You're thinking of Kenyon Drake.
No. I'm thinking of that Ajayi or whatever his name is.
He went to the Eagles.
Yeah, that's what I said. He went to the Eagles, and Sue played there 2 years ago because Sue was last year played for LA, and then he went to Tampa this year. He's only been on ever since he left the Lions. He played the Dolphins for 2 years, maybe 3. Then went to the Rams, and then now. Yeah,
I don't remember the exact trades the Dolphins made, but they had like a left tackle or somebody, a really good tackle that went to the Texans at one point, and they made some trades where everyone's like, all right, we kind of get it. You're loading up on picks here, but anyways, I don't know if it gets down to the player level when they're talking about that stuff.
Probably not,
Even though
but
it's
it's going to take more than just drafting one good guy for that's what they're going to have to do, a lot of shit.
Yeah.
It's going to probably take them a couple years.
Well, that's why they got criticism too, is like, hey, you might want to keep some of these guys around, at least some vets or whatever, but I don't know. They're just going all in, man. They just want to pick and see what they can get.
Are we still talking about the Dolphins?
Yeah.
Yes.
Who gives a fuck?
I don't, hey, we're here. We're here. I don't know how we got here, but we're fucking here, so we're going to bask in it. Packers got absolutely stomped by the Niners. That was a terrible game to watch. I think Mike called that, honestly.
No, I called that. No, I called it. Well, I said
multiple people might have, but I remember Mike specifically saying our offensive line would blow, and it did.
Oh, I thought you were talking about in the group chat. Somebody said win by a field goal.
Yeah, that was me. Yeah, pretty close.
That's as soon as Band-Aid Bulaga went out, you knew it was going to be a bad day.
I mean, that whole defensive line
Mandate.
just having their way the entire time. Actually, well, that's in the mix, but what I didn't like was I don't know if it's like in the play or whatever, but Rodgers was just pump faking like every play. It seemed like they pump fake every passing play, and then
I
he
noticed
missed the
that too.
throw. He was missing throws that he would normally make, but he was doing these little fucking pump fakes right when he got the ball. And is that like fucking up your rhythm or something? I don't know what you're doing. You know, maybe it's working for you, but you're just missing these easy throws that you normally hit. So I was a little
The
concerned about
defense
that.
bid on it a few times though.
Yeah, and I'm sure, and that's the whole reason, obviously. But I don't
But
know. But when you're missing the throws that you normally make, it just concerns me that you're like maybe trying to do too
Yeah.
much.
This is the thing is when he doesn't have a good game, like they cannot win. If he has even an okay game, they might be able to squeak by to win. But if he doesn't play good, they're fucked.
Oh no,
Yeah,
he's
Like
their whole
they
team.
don't.
especially against
Yeah,
an,
he's
an
their whole
elite team
fucking
like the
team.
Niners. Yeah,
I get that, like, Aaron Rodgers' greatest characteristic is his ability to extend plays, but at the same time, that's my biggest pet peeve. I just wish he'd throw the fucking ball.
yeah. But that's also the fun part about having him is you're never out of a play. Like when you're Mitch Trubisky and the
Mhm.
Bears and the play's over and he's got nothing,
You're always out.
there's
of the play
nothing
if
doing.
you're
You're
him.
out of it. You're out of it from the snap.
God, that
But
would
yeah, I don't
suck
know.
picking
From the
him.
start
That
of the
may-
game. You're out of the play.
We need like our offensive line needs to step up. We got a cush schedule coming up, so I don't know. But I'm afraid I don't care about like making. We're gonna make the playoffs, but when we get in the playoffs, what's gonna happen? Because I don't know. The
And
Niners are gonna be
what is the
there.
Vikings record right now?
They're both 8-3, Packers and Vikings.
Ooh,
Packers hold the tiebreak, the two
Yeah.
tiebreakers though
they already
So
played
for the
twice.
NFC North.
no.
No, they've played once and beat them, and then they hold. The Packers have a better record in the division.
When do they play again?
Near the end of the season.
Second to or like the second to last game of the year.
Okay.
I think they're probably the only team over 500 that they're going to play.
Yeah. When it comes to the Packers, when it comes to the playoffs, they're in. They're fine.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I don't know. That Niners team
Yeah.
looks good. Seattle's good. The Saints are good. Like it's a tough road to the Super Bowl in the NFC.
They're gonna win the division though.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
that too.
They're
But
and they're gonna host a playoff game, but
Unfortunately for the other team.
because I don't see San Fran like winning more than 2 games in this last little leg of the season.
Why? Who do they play?
They play Baltimore,
Lost.
New Orleans,
New Orleans.
Atlanta,
else?
LA,
That's a win.
Seahawks.
Yep.
That's a win.
So they could lose potentially
Go 2-2.
3 of 5.
They could lose
They
3
could
or 5,
go
yeah.
they could go 2 and 3.
And then it would kind of depend on. Yeah, I don't know. The picture. There's still a lot of games left, so it's kind of hard to start predicting things, especially in the NFC. But the playoffs are going to be good, man. There's a lot of good teams. I'm just afraid for the Packers. I don't know. There's just a lot of talent
Yeah,
in
the
the NFC right now.
NFC playoff picture is actually pretty interesting.
Yeah. Plus, you throw the Cowboys in there,
Yeah.
you never know, man. I mean, they're the
Shut up.
Cowboys
Don't
still.
don't-
Hey, you
Dude,
never
the
know,
fucking
bro.
The
You never
Bears
know.
are
They're
6-6.
terrible.
You never know.
They're terrible.
Who?
They're terrible.
The Cowboys. Once you get in the playoffs, man,
yeah,
you just
they didn't
never
look
know
too
what's
good,
gonna
did they?
happen.
They can make a run like
Yeah, just like the Eagles
Seattle
did.
or New York with
They
9
haven't
and
beat
7.
a team that has a winning record.
Yeah,
Hey.
I gotta ask you guys: are they that bad, or the Bills actually good?
Bills are
Both,
good.
Both. The Bills
The-
are good,
yeah,
but the
Bills are
Cowboys are
good.
kind of bad right now.
I didn't realize the Bills are 8-3. What
Yeah.
the fuck?
Yeah.
I
Josh
didn't know
Allen
either.
is a fucking football player, man. He's just a football player. I like Josh Allen.
Have the Bills beat good teams?
Yeah. They have. I'd have to look it up, but I know they have.
I
I'm
got it
looking
right
at their
here.
schedule
They beat
right
the
now.
Jets. They beat the Giants.
Mike,
they beat the Titans.
let me know.
They beat the Bengals. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Redskins. They beat the Dolphins. They beat the Broncos. They beat the Cowboys. The Cowboys are the first like legit win on their
Wow,
schedule.
so they haven't
They
really
played
beat
fucking
anybody.
shitty teams
Well,
then.
they lost
Yeah.
16-10 to the Pats, so that's a somewhat winnable game.
They hung in there.
Got smoked by the Eagles. That's not good. They lost to the Browns, so I don't know.
The Browns are up and
What's
down.
the
though.
Titans? What's the Titans record? They're decent, aren't they?
They gotta be 6-6, maybe 7-5.
7 and 5, I do believe.
Titans are
6 and 5.
5. Yeah. Well, that's what's crazy about the AFC and the wild card there. Right now, it's the Bills at 9-3, and then after that, it's a bunch of 6-5 teams. So there's still like a lot of
Yep.
there's a
A
lot
lot
of
of teams are in
things
the
that could
hunt.
happen. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
just like shitty records all over the AFC right now.
I think the Steelers are gonna surprise people and snake a wild card spot.
Dude, they've been playing good considering what they've been dealt.
Yeah. That dude, I like that guy. He was a walk on. Where he played in FCS. What's his name? I mean, their quarterback right now. They sat Rudolph.
Delvin
So who do
Hodges.
they play?
Yeah, he did good the other night when they benched Rudolph and he came back and won the
He-
game for him.
Yeah, but
I mean,
I
they're
don't
playing the
think-
they're playing the Bengals. You know,
They were also.
think
yeah.
the
I
Bengals
think
have a
he's an
single win.
undefeated
Do they have a
NFL
single win
quarterback.
this year?
No,
No, I don't think they
No,
do.
so
I'm pretty
they're
sure
0-11.
Yeah.
Yep.
So sure,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
you looked
Bengals
good
suck.
against the fucking Bengals. Congrats.
You want to know what's bad though? If the Lions played the Bengals, I would pick the Bengals.
No, I would too. That'd be a win for him. I'm dead serious too.
I'm
Yep.
dead serious too.
Wow. No
That
hope.
would be a win for him.
I don't think I think the Colts make the other wild card. The Colts are nasty, bro.
What if they
Especially if
had Andrew
Brissett's
Luck?
healthy.
Yeah.
It'll come down to probably Indy and Pittsburgh.
Yeah. And
Are they in the
Oak-
same? Are they in
Oakland's
the
there
same
too.
division?
No. Pittsburgh's in the north, Indy's in the south. But then you
Yeah.
got also at 6 and 5 is the Raiders. And the Titans are in that same conversation.
Raiders
The
are
Browns are
kind of
only
a sleeper.
the Browns are 5 and 6 right now, but they're still in the hunt for that.
They can make a
Because
run.
they have
Exactly.
They have a easy schedule.
Here's their
coming
schedule.
up.
They play the Steelers, could win that. The Bengals gonna win that. The Cardinals, winnable game. They do have to play the Ravens, but then they play the Bengals again. So there's only
Yeah.
like 2 game or actually 1 game in there that they should actually lose. The rest could be potential dubs.
I mean, I'm pulling for him. I like Baker and Jarvis and Odell. I like all those guys. I mean,
Bro, look at the
I hope
teams they
that-
played to start the
Freddie
season.
Kitchens ain't gonna get it done.
Bro, look at this. They had a
No.
shit record and people shit on them. They had to play the Rams, lost that. They beat the
No,
Ravens.
they played a good schedule.
They lost to the Niners, lost to the Seahawks, lost to the Pats in back-to-back weeks.
Yep.
But they also lost to the Broncos. So you just don't know what's going on with them, you know? So they've had a kind of tough
Oh.
schedule. They got a nice way out and right into the playoffs, so we'll see if it happens.
All you really know is that the Pats are probably gonna roll over everyone, including in the
so?
Super
Ravens.
Bowl.
The Ravens and the Chiefs.
Chiefs.
People forget about the Chiefs. Healthy
I
Patty
mean,
Mahomes
I
is
don't-
dangerous, man.
Well,
I
okay,
don't know.
so they're probably not gonna roll, but they'll beat Baltimore probably.
Ravens and 49ers in the Super Bowl.
That's probably right too. I mean, think about the Pats in the playoffs. Like, I don't know. And Lamar Jackson, obviously he's a new player this year, MVP candidate. But last year in the playoffs, I'm pretty sure they played the Pats, right? And he just fucking stunk.
Justin, what did I tell you last year? I texted you after the Ravens played. Remember, I said they're gonna be fucking good next year, and you're like, "Yeah, just wait and see." I
Yeah.
mean, I don't think
Yeah, you're right.
because the Pats are different in the playoffs. Yeah. So I mean, we can't really tell, but I wouldn't be shocked if the Ravens.
You can't really go against the Pats in the playoffs, man. It's
No, you
it's a tough
can't.
bet.
Yeah, you can't.
But the Pats, they got a hard schedule too coming up. They have to play the Texans. That's not a freebie. They have to play that in at Texans. They have to play against the Chiefs. That's not a freebie. They get to smoke the Bengals, but then they have to play the Bills too, and then they play the Dolphins. So you have to beat the
Yeah.
Texans, Chiefs, and Bills still. I mean, you're probably gonna win the division, but those are some hard games.
Yeah, it's hard to beat the same team twice. That's a decent team.
Yeah.
If it's a shit team, obviously, but like the Bills, that second game, I mean, it's not gonna be easy, but I'm sure they'll get it done because I'm sure it's in. 'Cause they played the Bills in Buffalo, didn't they? So now they got to play them in Foxborough. So
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah.
The Bills, they looked nice yesterday, but I think they were just going a little overboard on like the sellies and stuff after like late game. You're shitting on Dak doing his little thing, and then they're shitting on Zeke with his fucking feed me thing, and they're just mocking.
Yeah, it
the
was
they're
funny.
waving to the crowd on the benches and shit. Like, I get it, do a little bit of that, but show some. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. Nobody believes in you right now. Fuck off though. You beat the fucking Cowboys. Now you're gonna fucking wave to the fans. Like, just blow me. Talk shit to the players or something. Don't talk shit to the fucking Dallas fans, you bitches.
What'd you guys think of that
You
Saints
talk-
game?
Didn't watch it.
They beat the Falcons, right? Is that what it was? Yeah.
Yeah, Taysom Hill is a beast.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
I
did you know
love
he
that
runs
guy.
a 4.3 40 and he's like 250?
He had a throwing touchdown and a receiving touchdown, I think it was.
Yeah, and a blocked punt.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a block punt. That
Just
guy's
one of those
crazy, dude.
guys.
I like him.
And you know they love him
yeah.
there. They absolutely love him there. Just a
Yeah,
guy
they
who can
do.
do anything.
He's a fucking freak.
Did you see what Teddy Bridgewater tweeted out about? I'm trying to find it.
Did
about
he tweet that?
dancing
Yeah, yeah,
Did he
and
tweet?
how he likes it
Did he?
there.
yeah. He said coach said to
Yeah,
dance, otherwise you're gonna lose your job or whatever. Like just joking around, and he's like, and I like it here, so
that's why he was
that's
always.
pretty.
Somebody was saying I was always dancing.
Yeah, that's pretty dope, man.
I thought it
Hey,
was going to be something along the lines of like Epstein not killing himself.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
spe-
sure that's in his mind somewhere too, but not on the old Twitter feed. It's
not
crazy
to.
because you don't know when you're balling like that, and then you got to come back. And obviously, Drew's one of the goats, so you kind of have to do your thing. But do
Yeah,
you want to leave? Do you want to stay with the Saints and wait for your shot, or do you want to leave and go lead another team? I don't really
you
know.
guys. Sorry, but I'm just saying you guys know that he had his shot to leave. That Jacksonville wanted to sign him, and he chose to stay in New
Yeah, this year.
Orleans.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
but Drew Brees
maybe
isn't going to
he's.
play forever. So and if he
That's what I'm
plays well
saying.
in the absences that he gets here and there, maybe he's the guy moving forward past him. I don't know.
Yeah, he's a good player.
But I think he only signed
Khabib,
a 1 year deal with them. I may be wrong on
he
that,
did. Oh,
but
really?
so he's just got a choice to make at some point
Yeah,
because there's plenty of teams that need quarterbacks.
yeah. You see, Khabib and Tony Ferguson set for April 13th or 18th.
They
They
figured it
signed it
out.
just now. Yep, just now.
Really,
Who?
Khabib
Connor's
Nurmagomedov.
fight's official too.
Yeah,
Yep, that one's official too. I say
I
Cerrone
I I, I
decision.
fucking I hate that fight's at
I
170.
love it.
I don't.
I
There's no
love it.
reason that fight should be at 170.
I absolutely love it, bro. Think
No
about
Why,
this.
reason.
Just?
He's gonna
Why?
fight Cowboy at 70, right? Because that lines up the winner for a potential fight with Jorge Masvidal. Period. Why else would you
Yeah,
fight
but
there?
why would he want to fight Masvidal? Masvidal's gonna fuck him up.
You don't. I
Masvidal's
mean,
good.
Bad.
I
His
Bad.
management should tell him no.
I'd rather fight Masvidal than Justin Gaethje. I'd rather fight Masvidal
Yeah,
than Tony
okay.
Ferguson. I'd
Gaethje's a
rather
bad
fight.
fight for Connor, but he's not looking at Gaethje. He's looking at Khabib
That's what I'm saying. That's the path back to Khabib. You beat Cowboy. You somehow
at
beat George,
155.
maybe. Then, regardless of weight, you're going to have the fans back behind Connor if he wins a fight or two, and he's going to lobby for that Khabib rematch, regardless of the weights he won at. And it's going to be bullshit, but off fucking popularity alone, he's going to get that Khabib fight again. All he has to do
But,
is
Yeah,
win a
if he
couple
doesn't-
fights.
if he doesn't-
but why fight at 170, man? 155 is easy
Because
for
he
Conor.
wants
Like,
the
he makes
money
that
fight with
easy.
George
And then he can
Masvidal.
make Cowboy cut down, and Cowboy is a little bit diminished. It's like good for Conor. I don't know why that's at 170.
Because he knows that he's not going to get a title shot after beating Cowboy at 155. So then what do? You just fought at 55. Who do you fight?
But he could.
What do you do
I
from there?
guarantee you, they could make a Khabib Conor 2 fight after
Yeah,
that.
and maybe that's a possibility. I don't know. I just like the idea of, and when you're talking about money too, if you fight Cowboy at 170 and you think Masvidal beats Connor, but it's still a good fight, it's still a fight they could make. So we'll find out the result if it happens, but that just makes sense to me. If you're not right in the direct title picture in the lightweight division, fight at 170, go after the bad motherfucker belt or whatever, and he'll bring that back into the conversation. I'm sure of it. Why wouldn't he?
Oh, for sure.
So either one of those guys that win that fight, they're the original, BMF guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, especially Cowboy. Who doesn't deserve that belt more than Cowboy?
His ranch is called the BMF ranch.
Exactly. So that's a fight that just sets up that fight with Jorge Masvidal. Whether it happens or not, who knows? But I like
Man,
it.
I just really don't want to see that fight. I really hope that doesn't happen.
I like it off the hype alone. I don't want to see Connor fight fucking Justin Gaethje on pay-per-view. Like, I don't want to see that. I don't even want to see him fight Tony.
I just think that it. I mean, I don't think he's gonna make a comeback, guys. I just don't see it happening.
Do you see? You
He's
tweeted
got
out
too
that
much shit
Cowboy
going
beats him.
on. That's what I'm saying. I don't think
I don't
Connor.
know.
I said is gonna. I don't think Connor is gonna make a. I think he's gonna probably lose. And if he does win his next fight, he's gonna for sure lose if he fights Jorge. And I don't think he's gonna have what it takes to even touch Khabib. I just don't. I think he's gonna be done after 2 fights. At most 2 fights.
I don't think if he loses against Cowboy, I don't think he fights again. But I don't. Cowboy's the
No.
only guy in the lightweight division that I think he could beat at the top. The rest of the guys, those are tough matchups, bro. So this is a smart fight for
Gaethje's
him.
is
Where
a
he goes from here, I don't
fucking-
know.
Gaethje's in a weird spot. What do you do? I mean, you got Khabib and Tony. What did I saw it on Twitter, and you got. Hold on, I'll find it.
You pick a little decent filler fight while Khabib and Tony's going on, and then go after the winner.
And
But,
then
I mean, he's
Poirier's
been-
up top. So Connor's ranked number 3 right now at lightweight. He has Poirier ahead of him, Ferguson ahead of him, and then Khabib the champion.
Right.
So I don't.
Who's below Gage?
Connor's at 3, Gaethje's at 4.
Gaethje maybe.
Yeah, Gaethje's at 4,
No,
then
who's at
Cerrone.
5?
Cerrone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He just beat Cerrone, so it's like, what the fuck's he supposed to like?
Yeah, exactly.
What are you supposed to do? Go back down?
Is anybody looking at the rankings right now?
Yes, I am.
What are they exactly?
It's Khabib, Tony,
Yep.
Poirier, Conor, Justin Gaethje, Cerrone, Felder. Top 6.
Felder's at 6.
Yeah. Then Hooker, then Kevin Lee, then Al Quinta, then Barboza for the top 10.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, Gaethje's kind of fucked, man. He needed this Conor fight, but I don't know. And if Conor,
He could get the winner.
yeah, but what if Conor beats Cowboy and then calls out Khabib? Like at this point, I don't really.
He's
I
going
get it,
to.
weight classes matter, but when you're kind of skipping 155 to 170, and we already know Conor can make 155, I really don't have a problem with him beating Donald and then calling out Khabib. Like I don't have a problem with you beating Cowboy at 170 and then calling out the 155 champion.
I think that's what they're doing. To be honest
Yeah,
with you, that's
and
probably
maybe-
what'll happen.
And maybe. And what's that
So
exact
what,
date
is
on the
he-
fight? Is it a short camp? Is it even 8 weeks out? It's at the end of
Well,
January,
January
right?
15th. How long is that?
So about 6 weeks.
6 weeks.
So
Yeah,
that
that'd
may
take-
that may be another
Big-
reason why they're fighting at 70.
Okay, that makes sense. Maybe for Cowboy, not for Conor. Conor can still make 155.
Well, I'm sure they both could if need be, but I don't know. Yeah. And maybe
So what, is Connor just signing these one fight deals where
well he has
like
he
one
has
fight
con-
at a time?
No, he has a contract, but this is just who he's
He
fighting
just-
next.
Before he
Well, then
fought
I
Khabib, he re-signed for like a 6-fight deal, so he's good. And then Cowboy just before this got announced, he just re-signed. So they're both like signed for long term.
Because the thing is like I think there'd have to come a point where you actually want to respect the integrity of the sport, and instead of just giving fighters whoever they want to fight, like you have to actually work the rank system.
It's just not how it works. I mean, the ranks come involved now, but when you're trying to sell pay-per-views, like the entertainment value is almost more than the fighting at this point.
And also, when
Yeah,
it
you
comes to
can
the
clearly
rankings,
tell.
the UFC doesn't rank these guys. The media does. So it's not like the UFC doesn't really have to follow the rankings.
Yeah, it's not like it's not even a legit ranking system. So I don't know.
Dumb. Fucking dumb.
Yeah,
No,
there's
it is dumb.
there's a lot
They,
of gray
they should have
areas
a
in
real
there.
ranking system.
Well, yeah, and then the obvious thing would be work your way through the rankings, and it would just make everything more simple. But then when you have a guy like Connor who can talk his way into the thing, and like even Till came up pretty fast, man, just because of like just the type of fighter he is and the things he can say. I don't know. It's same thing with Adesanya. Adesanya went through the ranks like that. Sure, he had a long kickboxing career before that, and he was ready. But you talk your little shit, win a few fights, and boom, you're at the top
No, for sure.
That's true.
Till's actually one fight away from the title shot already.
again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he beat number 4 middleweight. I mean,
Even though it was a boring fight, but he still beat him.
this is what bothers me about the middleweights is I understand Yoel is like this fucking freak, but I mean that what's his name who beat him? It was controversial,
Whitaker?
but no, the fuck's it? Not Hernandez. Why don't I say Hernandez? That Brazilian dude,
Oh, Paulo
he's 12.
Costa.
Apollo. Yeah, he's 12-0.
But he's hurt. That's
And
why.
I mean,
That's why they're not going there. Is because he's hurt.
oh, okay. Well, I guess Yoel then does
He
have.
tore
I
his
mean,
bicep. He tore his triceps.
no.
But he's not
He's
gonna
gonna
be
be
out that
out.
long. He said he's only gonna be out till April or March.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you'd have to do somebody then. Yeah. I don't know.
Freaks.
That'd be a crazy fight. Would be Adesanya and Yoel. That'd be pretty crazy.
Adesanya wants Romero. That's the whole
Yeah.
point. Adesanya
Yeah.
and his manager have been saying that they want Romero.
I mean,
I saw somewhere who wants Till in England. Was that Adesanya as well?
yeah.
No, that was
Wait.
who said that?
Oh, Bobby Knuckles, Robert Whitaker.
There you go. Yeah, there you go.
He said he wanted Till.
Mhm.
That's a fight that makes
That'd be-
sense.
That would be a good fucking fight
Oh,
because,
absolutely.
like
No,
Justin said, he's one fight away.
They're gonna make that fight.
Bro, listen to Till's career in the UFC. He fights Velikovich. I don't know who that is, but he beats him. That's his first fight in the UFC, I believe. Maybe I'm online. But then he fights Cowboy, who comes up to 170 and is very small compared to him, beats him. Then he beats Thompson, and then he's fighting for the fucking belt.
They pushed him too fast.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still,
they
look at
did.
those fights. He's fought Cerrone, Thompson, Woodley, Masvidal, Gastelum. Just the who's who in the zoo. like at the top of the UFC. It's crazy.
I mean, he's the real deal. Yeah, the dude's fucking huge.
Yeah, but he's still so young. You
He's
know what I'm
fucking
saying? It's just
huge.
like it's crazy the ringer he's going through.
Yep, it is. And it humbled him though because he was real cocky before he fought Woodley, and Woodley humbled him. And then he had like what? Did he have one or two more losses after that? I think it was
He
one
lost to
more.
He lost to
Masvidal and then he beat
Masvidal.
Gastelum.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
People
I mean
forget
that
though. Hey, people forget in that Masvidal fight, Hill dropped he actually fucked Masvidal up like twice. He dropped
in the
him
first
twice on his
round.
ass before he got caught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Oh
wasn't like
yeah.
Masvidal went in there and just fucking starched him like he did to Ben Askren. Like Till actually fucked Jorge up for the first like I don't know 12 minutes of that fight.
That was a fun fight to watch. If you guys go back and watch, I've watched that fight like 3 times. It's a good fight.
You're talking about Till Masvidal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Till fucked him up.
Mhm.
Damn, and now Masvidal's just chilling at the top.
The fuck's he? What do you
That's
think he's gonna do?
I
well,
don't know what he does to be honest. I mean, if Nick Diaz doesn't fight him,
you
I don't
fight
know what he
Connor.
does.
You fight the winner of
Did
this
you just
fight.
say? Did you say Nick Diaz?
Yeah,
Bro,
Parker, I don't like that fucking fight either because Nick Diaz looks like he's fucking like Rocky fucking punch drunk, but he doesn't want the winner of the title fight. So I don't know what else you do with him.
You give
That's
him the
so
winner of this fight, bro.
stupid.
That's the most money, period.
He's going for the money,
Oh,
obviously.
absolutely. And
If
who's the
if
biggest
he-
money? Connor Donald or fucking Colby Usman?
I don't think the UFC would make Connor Masvidal. I don't think the UFC would let that happen. To be
Oh,
honest with you.
Connor. If Connor beats Cowboy, he can ask for whatever the fuck he wants outside of Khabib, and he'll probably get it.
Yeah, I mean, you're probably right. Yeah, but that'd be stupid. I don't know, dude.
You
I
guys
think
think that fight
Masvidal
is that like just that bad?
Yeah, I think Masvidal will fuck him up.
Bad.
I don't know, man.
Oh, we're just gonna have to wait and see it
Yeah,
unfold.
and either way,
know?
even if he does starch him, like imagine the lead up and shit to that. That's a good fight to just like. That's an
Oh, this would be
entertaining fight.
fun.
Yeah, it's a fun
Oh
fight,
yeah, for sure. It's a fun fight.
which is what they want. You know, does Dana
I
White?
just don't want to see it, man. If Connor
Yeah.
beats Cowboy, he's got to fight. He's got to fight Gaethje or he's got to fight Khabib.
That's
Those
not
are
happening.
or
Well, yeah.
Nate. Those are really the only three options.
Nate,
that you
yeah,
can
that's
go to
an
have.
option not talked about. Nate, that's obviously a fight that could happen. I mean, you have to run it
Nate's
back.
coming off a loss. You
Yep.
can still do the trilogy anytime.
Yep.
But Masvidal, what he made Nate look like compared to when Connor fought him is
That's the problem.
scary. That's what I'm saying. Like he made Nate that entire fight beat his fucking ass, and Connor and
Masvidal made Nate look like shit.
yeah, like shit.
I don't know,
So if
man.
he and Connor's been out a long. I mean, it's been over what, a year and a half, and before that it was over a year. So he's had
Yeah.
one UFC
Connor
fight in the
hasn't
last
won a
over
fight
2
since Eddie Alvarez in 2016.
Yeah, it's fucking 4 fucking years ago.
Well, that's
almost.
That's what's going to be telling about this Cowboy fight. Like, sure, we could
Yeah.
speculate about what's going to happen, but he still has to get through Cowboy, and Cowboy's going to come prepared as ever for that.
Cowboy's a
Oh,
tough
yeah.
fight, especially at 170.
Yeah.
He doesn't have to cut weight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's not fighting like a big guy this time. That was the problem at 170 is he was going to fight bigger dudes. But
For sure.
Connor's not that big of a guy, so that's going to be a good fight, man. I think I still
Yeah.
have Connor in that, honestly. I don't know.
Do you really?
Yeah, I think so. Early predictions, everybody. I got Connor. I think maybe decision. I don't know.
Yeah, I
Connor
got
by
Cerrone
decision?
decision.
What do you got, Just?
Oh man, I don't know. If I had to put money on it, like at this moment right now, considering what Connor's done in the last 3 years, I actually think Cerrone finishes him.
Wow. Yeah, I
That'd
don't
be
know.
crazy.
That's just another fun fight, though. You know, regardless of who wins, the lead up to that's going to be great. That night is going to be great.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, and that's in Vegas, right?
I
Yeah,
just don't like the weight.
Yeah, it just doesn't make sense unless that's why I said what I was saying, because that's the only thing that makes sense in my head. Like maybe he shouldn't fight Masvidal, but why else would they fight at 70 if that wasn't in the plans? There's no other reason to fight at 70 unless
God, I
it's
hope
unless it's
not.
the 6 weeks thing and they don't have time for a full camp, which means, you know.
I think that's more the reason
Yeah.
is because I don't think Cowboy can make that weight that quick.
Well, plus over the holiday season too, like there's a lot of factors, you know. You're gonna do
Wait,
6-week
hey,
camp over the
Mike-
holidays.
Did Mike give his prediction?
No,
What do you think?
I don't know. I've been zoning out this entire time.
Connor versus Cowboy. If you had to bet on one,
I honestly could give a fuck less.
really?
Yeah, I honestly don't care.
All right, no.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't watch as much fighting as you guys. So I mean, I don't know.
Oh, just
I don't really. I
just
don't.
when it comes to fighting
I
in
don't.
general.
I don't carry an opinion.
Not a lot of baggage on Mike
Okay, I
tonight.
respect that.
What we were talking about in the text was about Anaya Blanchard or whatever. I don't know if I'm saying her
That's
name
so
right.
sad.
I don't want to say whatever like that, like it's not a big deal, but I don't know if I'm butchering her name. But yeah, a guy goes to prison for attempted murder and kidnapping.
They let him out on bail.
Gets him out. He goes out on bond for $250,000 or something like that. Crazy amount of
Tells the
money.
perfect girl.
And then he goes to a gas station and like snatches this chick with this other dude, Nia Blanchard, Walt Harris from the UFC, his stepdaughter, and they end up killing her, bro. They found her remains a couple days ago. That was like, I mean, that's probably a month into the investigation, right, or a few weeks at least.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was a month. It was about a month since she's been taken.
She
What
just
fucking
disappeared.
judge? What judge puts a bail for somebody who's
It was
kidnapped
attempted
somebody?
murder. He got fucking bail on.
Kidnapping with attempted murder.
Yeah, like what the he I hope that's gonna be heavy on him his whole fucking life. Like
Okay, I gotta ask you guys, you three, what is in your mind? What is a like a good punishment for this guy? What should happen to this guy?
You lock him in a cage with Walt Harris and however many fighters he wants to bring
That's
with him,
exactly what I said.
and
You
they
put
beat
in
him
a
to
room with
death.
Walt Harris.
They beat him to death.
no, this
You-
is my thing,
You
right?
put him in a room with the Epstein guards.
No, fuck that. That's the easy way out. Fuck that. You put him in a
Look,
room with
no.
Walt Harris and
can
you let
do
him
that,
break
then
every
put
limb on
Walt
his
Harris
body.
in the room 'cause nobody will know he
You
was
guys,
there.
I've thought so much about shit like this. If somebody were to do that to my family or one of my girls, like I would torture them. I wouldn't just beat them to death. Like I would take bolt cutters to like their Achilles tendon, and then I would tell them to like try and run away, and
No,
then
I agree.
I would just keep tracking them down. Like I just torture them, take a drill to their kneecaps and elbows and wrists, and then I
Women
just
should
a
not have
bunch
to
of crazy
fucking
shit.
worry about going and getting a bag of chips from the fucking gas station. That pisses me off so much that happened, dude. Like girls should not have to worry about that kind of
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't let
I'd
Brittany.
probably
Like, I don't like her going anywhere by herself. I like, or my like with our it just fucking creeps me out that you got to worry about shit like that,
Oh, I
man.
know,
It's
dude.
fucked up.
That's my goddaughter. Like I think about that
Yeah,
now.
well, what's
yeah,
the
man.
most fucked up part about the situation is who did it and what he was supposed to be already locked away for. That's the shittiest part. Like, of course, on an everyday basis, it's scary to like, there's certain things that could happen. But when you got guys like that are getting out of prison just to go back and do it again, that's the worst fucking part.
They arrested 3
He
people,
just
and 2 of the 3 people were already in jail within the last year.
Man,
what the
it's just tough.
fuck.
like this shit
So
definitely this comes down to the judge and the court system.
Preventable.
Like it's
yeah,
absolutely
it's 100%.
preventable.
So what I'm
You
confused with when the
don't
bail
post
is
bail. Like
when the bail is 250,000. I think it's only only have to post 10% of that if I'm correct,
no,
It is
right?
10%.
no.
There
It
should be
depends.
fucking no bail. They should not be able to get out at
You
all.
kidnapped somebody. Fuck you.
The
They tried
like
to kill
crimes
him.
the crimes depend. So like depending on the crime that you committed, you can give 10% of 250,000, which would be 25,000, or the judge can say, okay, bond is set or bail is set at 250,000, no 10%. And it's
So
got to be
how the fuck
cash.
did he get? How the fuck did he get $250,000 to go do the same shit? Like,
That's a
hey, he's
great
tied
Yeah,
question.
into
what
a lot more
happens after
people.
Well,
that?
He's tied in
but
with a lot more people.
the question that needs to be asked is in what right and who in their right mind would would place a bail for somebody who's an attempted murderer and a
His
kidnapper?
mom.
Why would no the
Fuck.
judge like why would the judge give
Yeah, that's what I'm
even
saying.
an
That has
ounce
to
of
be there has to be
opportunity?
accountability there. There has to be.
Yeah, it's not gonna be, but
I
it should
know. There
be.
should be.
Whoever let that guy out should feel really bad about what happened.
No, fuck that. What do you mean feel bad about what happened? You should have fucking
No,
punishment.
they should
Fuck
be held
that.
You should be
accountable.
accessory.
That's what I'm saying. Fuck your feelings, judge or whoever. I don't know who's
No, that's what I
responsible
mean.
for
They should
putting
be
them
held
on bail like
accountable.
that. But no,
They should
that's just
sue.
fucked.
I mean, they should sue the state or something.
Also,
You
yeah,
let-
it's not
you
like the
let a
judge,
fucking killer back out on the
Yeah.
streets.
and it's not the judge's fault or whoever lets him out. But that, obviously, it's a
But it
law
kind of
that
is.
got there's some sort of law that gives him that opportunity. It's not just like the judge is making it up on the go.
He tried to kill a
So
girl,
There's
dude.
no judge that wants
There's
that guy on the
there's no
street.
like fucking gray area.
Then
no, so
then
look,
the then you set no bail and you make
That's what
him
I'm
wait
saying.
until his court date.
Yeah, I'm not up on the court system or how they like decide what it's gonna be or whatever. So
so speaking
either
of
way, it
all the
sucks.
kidnapping and shit, right? Brittany and I stayed in this hotel about 3 4 weeks ago, and I just seen on the news last week, the same fucking hotel, they arrested 4 people for sex trafficking. It was a 15-year-old girl called the police when she's at the hotel, told them that she was forced to have sex with these older dudes, or they told her that they were gonna kill her, threatened her with death. So the police go there and they got the 15-year-old girl, got her, and they arrested 4 people, and it was 2 girls and 2 guys, and they were all in like their 20s. The oldest was like 32 or something. It's like what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like where do you just go get a 15? Like I'm confused, man. And I stayed at that same fucking hotel. Probably shit was probably going on when I was there.
Who was the girl? Was she from Berga County with that Van Hackey situation? Somebody like disappeared up that way.
Yeah.
You remember
Yeah,
that?
what's her name?
I don't remember.
Leah Harding.
Yeah, Leah Harding.
There you go.
So what's this? That's kind of the same situation where this guy like he goes to jail for this thing, and now he just won't tell where the body is or like where this girl's at.
No,
They have no
he go
proof.
he goes to jail
Well,
for
they don't
something
know it's him for
completely
sure.
different.
Okay.
Like he'd already been in prison before for kidnapping and rape and shit like that. And
But
then
they had a
They were
relationship.
dating.
he got out, met this girl. They were dating like pretty steady, and then all of a sudden she just goes missing. And like there's zero leads. There's obviously suspicion that he did it, which I mean probably did, but there's no proof to say that he did for certain.
He must have a
Um,
pretty solid alibi.
It doesn't
I
matter
mean,
your alibi. It's can you
if they
prove
don't got
like
proof,
can you put him in can you put him at the scene? Is there a body? Like there's zero
It's common
evidence
sense.
that yeah, but common sense doesn't win cases.
Yeah, it
I
has
get
to
that,
be
but come on.
beyond reasonable doubt or
yeah,
whatever.
she's in the bottom of Lake Superior or buried somewhere in the middle of the. I mean,
I
I mean,
yeah,
mean,
he's
think
gonna
think of the woods up
and
there. She could be anywhere.
he got
anywhere.
sent
Yeah.
he got sent back to prison for a completely
Yeah,
different
stealing
crime.
Oh, so he went
for
back
stealing.
after this happened. I thought he went to jail in connection with this thing.
No.
No,
No,
Wow.
he's
nothing to do
like
with
got
that.
caught robbery or some shit.
Wow. So he's just a suspect then, nothing more than that.
Exactly.
It's really
That's it.
sad, man, because I see a lot of people on Facebook at certain points of the year now. Like it's like it happened a while ago, but people still trying to look for her and stuff. It breaks my heart, man. And I'm pretty sure
I
she had a
know
daughter and stuff. Like,
I know her brother.
yeah.
Her brother and my sister like came up together as kids
So what
in
does he say
school and
about
stuff.
it?
Well, I mean, he's still holding out hope, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's been probably almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Like what? I don't know what I would do in that situation. Like, do you confront that Van Hackey guy, or I don't know. Like
People
what do
What's he
you
like
gonna
do?
people
say? I
have
don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
it doesn't really matter because he's spending the rest of his life in prison. He's gonna die in there.
Oh, so he's
So
he's
he
gone
went.
for long term then.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Plus I'm pretty sure he has cancer.
Oh wow.
He
Yeah,
does.
he does. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
There's just a lot of layers to this equation here.
A lot of moving parts.
I don't know what the fuck's
Lot
going
of
on anymore. I mean, it just sucks though. Shout out to that family, man. It's a tough time. And same thing with the Anaya Blanchard stuff, man. Like, what do you do as a father? Like, your child just disappears. You're.
God.
It's like got to be the
I
most helpless
can't
feeling
imagine.
ever.
And I don't even have a kid.
Yeah, I mean, well, just anybody you love. It doesn't even have to be your kid, but like they just
Hey,
disappear.
what was that that like true documentary on Netflix with was it like Kidnapped in Plain Sight or whatever?
Oh, I didn't see it, but I had heard about it.
You know
Where
what I'm talking about?
yeah, that family brought the person in as like I don't know if it was a maid or something. I don't know what the role was in the family, but they brought that person in, and that
The
person.
dude is like a family friend, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like he develops this sexual relationship with their like child daughter and the parents like he takes the daughter away, like kidnaps her basically.
Oh
And
yeah, I watched that. What's that called?
Called Kidnapped in Plain Sight, I think.
Is it
yeah,
true story?
yeah,
Yeah,
true
yeah.
story.
Well, the parents were like, isn't there a part of it where the parents they basically know like that
Dude,
these things are
he
going
They,
on?
yeah,
kidnapped
they
her, and then the
they
parents
know.
let the girl go with him again after that.
Yes,
Wow.
and the dad gave the kidnapper a hand job.
Yeah,
Yeah, see,
the
there's so
dad
many
was
moving
gay.
parts.
He's bisexual.
What?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
he
well,
jerked the
fuck?
kidnapper off.
that's part of the equation. Like, hey, you can't, we know you're messing with our child or whatever, but hey, I also love to jack you off at night. So
Yeah,
Bro, that
no,
what
it
the
was
fuck?
it was like those two dudes, the father and the kidnapper, are in a truck, like riding around, and then all of a sudden the kidnapper whips out his dick and says, "Get my rocks off," and the fucking dad just, "Oh yeah, all right."
Okay,
He must be good with his words, I guess. Jesus, I mean,
he's
yeah,
super
Fucking
just
that's
persuasive,
convince a
I guess.
grown
Eh?
man.
wow.
You really had to twist my arm on that one.
Yeah, that guy's not gay at all. What
Yeah,
the
he
No,
hell?
he
not
put a
gay.
gun to
Not
my
gay. He's not
head.
gay.
Well, if
You,
you're gonna twist my arm, I mean, hey,
a, f-
we're
a
here.
flesh gun shooting out sperm bullets.
So nasty.
Gross.
But think about like, there's probably thousands of fucked up families doing fucked up shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Just, oh man, just I can't. I don't. Can't, we gotta move on, bro. We're talking about
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah,
kidnaps
let's move
and
on. I don't know how we got on
Hey,
that.
have you guys
kidnappers jerking
seen
off.
did you guys watch on Netflix, speaking of the Bob Lazar thing?
No,
I watched
about
part of it.
aliens.
You guys are fucking
No.
I
lame,
don't watch.
dude.
I told you guys this fucking 16 episodes ago. I don't watch shit, bro.
I
Dude, I
watched
need one
No.
of
the
you guys
Rogan
to drop
episode
me
with him.
that. I need you guys to give me a Netflix password here.
I use
Shit,
somebody else's, so you're shit out of luck for me.
Fuck,
I could
man, I'm
probably
tired
give
of
you
paying for streaming services, man.
yeah, it's so many. It's
Mike, you
about
can use mine.
I got Hulu and
I was gonna
Sling.
say
I'll trade you straight up for one of them.
I got
Sling's free,
I
isn't
got
it?
Hulu in the ESPN
Fuck
Plus
no.
bundle, so I'm covered.
I pay like $45 a month for that shit.
For Sling?
Hell yeah.
Really?
I usually
I
just
gotta
watch
see what's
Family
on
Feud on it
Sling then,
though.
I guess.
I just
I
watch
gotta
Game
see
Show
what's on
Network,
it.
honestly.
Game Show Network, really?
Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey Family Feud, best show on television.
Yeah, it's alright. It's alright. No, but the Bob Lazar thing's about um it's about aliens, and he used to work. So look, so this guy he came out in the 80s, right? And he's been interviewed, like it's all over YouTube. You can find he's been out since
He's
the
been saying
80s
this shit for
talking
a
about
while.
for 30 years, and his story's never changed. So he worked for near an Area 51. It was near, it wasn't Area 51, it was close there. And he would be at home, and they would call him. He wouldn't know when, and they would call him at random times at 11 o'clock on a fucking Saturday night, and he would have to go into work, and he would work a shift with one other guy. He was the engineer on these alien spacecrafts, these saucers, and he worked on them. He was explaining how they moved through like gravity, like propel through. I mean, I don't fucking know, but it was like gravity. They would
He
alter
said it was
gravity to
technology that
move,
he's never seen before.
and he said um it's like a big mirror in there, basically like a panel, like digital almost, but
So
like
they're
he
invisible.
said, yeah, so like the aliens, he's like the cockpit was like for somebody probably like half his size, so like probably about 4 feet tall, a little smaller. And
Half
he was
his
just
size is
talking about
4 feet tall. Bob Lazar is fucking an 8-foot giant.
you know what I mean.
This is fucking Yao
Yeah.
Ming.
Also, Bob is 8 feet tall.
Okay, I meant okay, 3 feet, like
He
three
was Yao
feet,
Ming.
okay,
No,
like
I
three
feel you. I
feet
feel
tall.
you. It was just funny.
But it's fucking crazy because like he has books and shit out, and like his wife thought he was, because he couldn't tell her anything. His wife was having like an affair and shit because she thought he was, like, it fucked his whole life up. And then they started after he got out, or start so he told his friends, and they went to this place in the desert where they would watch him do these test runs with these spacecraft. Like dudes would actually get in there and do test runs, and they got caught. And after that, he got stopped getting phone calls to go into work, obviously. And these people basically followed him around for years and like just scared him, like would leave his car door open and shit like that, and they'd be watching. Just really creepy shit, dude. Like Men in Black
They
type shit.
erased him from all the stuff. Like you can't even see that he went to college. They erased
Yeah,
all
you
of his
can't
Do you
college
see.
believe all of it?
transcripts.
Fuck
Do you think it's
yeah.
all true?
All true.
Watch
I,
Joe Rogan with Bob Lazar. They erased him
Yeah.
from the database. It doesn't even look like this guy existed
Well, I
anymore.
know, and I know, but he's also the one telling these stories. You know what I'm saying?
No, there
But
was another guy
again,
with him.
yeah, and he's been saying this for the past 30 years, and his story hasn't changed. And I mean, that's what Joe Rogan's talking about. I mean, it's kind of hard to keep the same story for
Yeah.
30 years. Like, not like, I mean, it all seems legit, man. I mean, I believe in all like
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
Pentagon.
saying. Without
If you
him,
look,
without him involved, do you guys believe in like all the stuff, like just like the
yeah,
aliens?
listen,
I
yeah.
don't believe
So
in shit, but his story seems believable.
look, the Pentagon. If you look back in the early 2000s, set aside millions and millions of dollars to look into UFOs. Like it's out the Navy pilots and shit talking about it all over YouTube, everything, man. It's out that it's something. There's shit out there flying around that nobody. It doesn't make sense as far as physics go, and they can't explain it. It's something. I mean, something's out there. It's
Well,
something.
there's that retired Air Force dude. Um, he was on Joe Rogan too, and he was talking about how like back in '04, he and his crew were doing these training exercises in their jets, and all of a sudden came across this. They call it the Tic Tac UFO,
Yeah.
and you know what I'm talking about. And it's
Yep.
moving. It was moving like
Sideways and
not
shit.
yeah sideways and
Yeah.
shit, and going super super crazy fast, and then just coming to a complete stop. And it had to have been. I mean, it obviously was a UFO because they couldn't identify it, but aliens, 100% aliens.
I think there's stuff
It
out
has
there.
to
I
be
just don't know. Like, I don't know. I think there's a lot of stories that come out really fabricated, so it's hard to sift through
hmm
the bullshit. But things like that, where you see the
That's
video, and maybe the video is manipulated too, but you don't really know. But I definitely think we'd be too naive to think we're the only like beings out here with doing things like that.
for
I mean, how
sure.
can you can say that about anything unless you can say that about any video that you see a UFOs unless you take it yourself.
No, that's what I'm
Like there's
saying. Yeah, that's why
there's
it's so
always going to be
skeptical.
that there's always going to be a sliver of doubt in there.
Yeah, that's why
There's
that's
a
the whole
part of
point of
you
the
that
question
wants
of do you
to
believe in it or not? Wait, so
right.
Justin, you don't believe in it at all? All right, glad to hear from you, Justin.
I was gonna say I haven't heard the dinger for his seatbelt going off in a bit, so
He's at the drive-through. But
No,
yeah,
I'm still here.
so you said you don't believe in anything? Do you don't believe in aliens or anything at all?
I don't really believe in aliens, but after listening to his thing, it kind of changed my mind a little bit. Like I'm more open to it than I was.
You were just a hard no, like fuck no, not a possibility.
Yeah, I was a hard no. Yeah,
Wow. Damn, you voted for Trump, huh?
I would have just to piss off the liberals. Yeah, not because I like Trump, just to piss off the fucking soy boy liberals. I would have
Yeah,
voted
you
for him.
wanted to
Yeah,
fucking piss off Cam Newton.
That vegan eating motherfucker.
He wanted to really give Kaepernick a reason to kneel down by
Jesus
blowing out his kneecaps.
Christ, bro.
Holy
Wait, so
fuck.
Justin, like you said you don't believe in it. Like what's some other shit you don't believe in?
Democrats.
He's not even here anymore. He's fucking off the scene again. Yeah, can I get a number 4?
Oh, that's fucking awesome. What do you not believe in? Democrats.
Wow.
Holy fuck.
Mm.
But all right there's a good place to stop. I guess Justin
no,
is in and out.
Democrats and go.
All right, there he is, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't believe in Democrats.
Caller
or
number
ghosts.
9.
He's got like a fucking
Oh.
35-second delay on his end.
No, I just walked in my
Holy-
house.
It's all good, man. We're about to wrap it up right here, man. So
For real though, ghosts and Democrats, no go.
wait, what's some other shit though? I can't even think of anything.
I know you don't believe in
like
God or anything.
No, like the what's the
La Chupacabra?
Sasquatch type. You believe that there's like
No Sasquatch.
What about flying spaghetti
Hey,
monster?
no. Listen to this. I believe in the Loch Ness monster only because it came up to my door one day and asked me for tree fitty.
all right.
Holy
Wait, you
Oh,
don't think
that's it.
there was some sort of large being in the woods,
A Sasquatch? Are you being serious, Hemla?
bro? Well, it's literally proven that there have been like, and it's not like the Sasquatch, but there's been like larger creatures like that have possibly
Okay,
roamed
I'll say
through.
this. There might have been like a bear that was deformed and like walked
That's
on
two
its hind
different.
legs. That I
You
believe
don't
in.
think there
Just
was any sort of other like? I'm not saying it has to be like some sort of alien type thing. Just some sort of animal that stood on 2 feet and walked around the woods. He said there might have been some sort of bear. He's out of the call anyway. But all right, that's where we wrap it up right here, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate the support. We're going to see you guys next week with a special episode with Ray Bryce. He'll be returning. They're currently in Alaska playing the Nanooks right now. They had a big series against NMU last weekend. There was a big brawl. Mike was at that game. He'll tell us his side of that story, and Ray will be here to update us on Husky hockey. And that is all from us. We appreciate the support. See you next week.